What's up guys, welcome back to my channel Spearfishing. Today's video is going to be about all these different types of spear guns, and I'm going to be sharing my opinion on which one is the best for beginner spearfishers. If you're interested, please stay tuned. So I'm going to make this video. I'm going to start with the hammerhead 75cm, the hammerhead 90cm, the 120, and the 120 wooden reef gun. Okay, so here I have the DraStic's made by Hammerhead Spear Guns. So this is a 75cm gun. I would definitely recommend something bigger if you're gonna spearfish like reefs. This gun is good for like little kids that are starting to spearfish. Like this was my first spear gun. Or my brother's first spear gun. So these guns like this are good for little kids, but if you are an adult that is beginning or like a beginner in spearfishing, I would recommend something bigger like these guns. But this gun is a good gun for kids to start spearfishing. But I definitely wouldn't recommend anything lower or smaller than this gun. Okay, so here we have the DraStic or Hammerhead 90cm spear gun. Like I said before, that the 70cm spear guns, they do have really limited range and power, so you have to get really close to your fish that you want to shoot. And this one, you could definitely tell that is more powerful just by those 15 centimeters, and you could definitely tell that it's more powerful. You have a longer range of that you could shoot the fish. It is more powerful, and but still it's not the best size for like reef spearfishing, like for mackerel and stuff like that. I probably would recommend a gun a little bit bigger, like a 110 or a 120. For beginner spearfishers, I would recommend a gun a 90 or higher. Just cause if you have if you start with a pole spear before you get a spear gun, if you just have a pole spear, with that pole spear you'll have basically the same range or the same power as this spear gun. So like a spear gun like this one. So I probably would recommend getting something bigger if you are upgrading from a pole spear. Just because it would be probably similar power to a spear gun like this, and to get something bigger and upgrade, I would recommend a 90 or higher. Okay, so this is the Pathos Laser Open Carbon spear gun. This gun is absolutely amazing. I definitely would recommend if you are a beginner and you are like an adult. I definitely would recommend a spear gun this or like a 110. A 110 and a 120 are a good size of spear guns for adults. Like I'm a kid and I use this gun and it fits me, so it even fits kids. But it's definitely a gun that is for more advanced if you are a kid. But if you are an adult, it's also a really good spear gun to like learn with, and because it has all the power you will ever need. It has all the accuracy you could ever imagine, and a 120 gun is just, I think, the perfect size that you will need for just everything, like for overall like spearfishing everywhere. I use this gun like under bridges, like in 10 feet of water, all the way to like 300 open water, like for mahi. And it's probably best for reef spearfishing, like for big snapper, grouper, mackerel, and all those fish. But it even will work for like mahi, like I said before, and maybe even little tuna. I haven't tried that yet. But this gun is probably the best size, or like a 120 is probably my most recommended size for an adult or just for a beginner spearfisher. So now we're gonna move on. Why I do not like wooden ones too much. So here I have this Impaler. It's the same size as that one. It's a 120, but I don't. Wooden guns are not measured in centimeters. They're measured in inches. I don't know what 120 centimeters in inches is, but it's a 120 in centimeters. So this gun is you can definitely tell the difference in weight, but also this is not my gun, this is my dad's gun, and he has this gun already for a long time. But I'm just telling why I don't like it. My dad likes it because he's used to it, but I don't like it because it is really heavy. It is accurate, it is strong, but I definitely would recommend the carbon or aluminum one. It's lighter, it's easier to move around with in the water because the aluminum ones, they are smaller, and usually the wooden ones are thicker, so it's harder to aim with and like harder to move around with in the water. But overall, yes, I probably would recommend definitely a carbon or an aluminum gun, just because of the lightness of the carbon and aluminum one. And also it is because you can move around faster. That also means accuracy, because if the fishes move around quick and you have a big gun like this, it's hard to move around it and aim. So I definitely would recommend, like I said a lot of times already, I would recommend a carbon 120. It's my most accurate and my most recommended gun for any beginner adult spearfisher. And if you are a beginner kid, or you're a parent who wants to buy a beginner kid that's like 10 or 13 years old, I would recommend a 90 or a 75. But just to let you know, they will outgrow it really quickly, and then you'll have to buy a bigger gun anyways. But so it might be just a little bit better to buy like a 110 that will stay for a long time. But just basically, these two guns will have limited power. They will not have all the power you want. This is probably not the best gun to use mackerel with or shoot mackerel with. I did shoot a couple mackerel with them, but you could definitely tell the difference between this one. Like sometimes when you're shooting a fish with a gun or like a 75, you're shooting, let's say like at a jack, you shoot at the jack, or like when you're not close enough. Like I'm used to that one right now, and when I go to this one, I like sometimes don't like really put it in my head that I'm using a smaller gun, and I go up to a jack and I don't get close enough, and you could see the shaft, just like you could see the fish move away from the shaft. But like with a gun like the 120, you could tell, like you could see how more powerful it is, like that the shaft is crazy fast and the fish does not have any time to move away. So that's what you want to have. And basically this is definitely my most recommended gun. And I think that's it. Okay guys, I will put a link in the description below how to make these bands, because bands get expensive these days. And if you have bad bands, you will have a hard time to shoot your fish. So I will show a video, I will make a video, and it will be in the description below, how to make your own homemade band. Thank you for watching guys, and see you in the next one.